Welcome to Cherry Street Investor Education with Kavitha Baratakke, passive income coach and founder of Cherry Street Investments. Education that is designed for you to take control of your financial life. Join us to learn how you can create multiple passive income streams, diversify your portfolio, save on your taxes, and much more. Become a better investor and fast-track your financial goals. Here's your host, Kavitha Baratakke.
Good evening, everyone. Again, as always, thank you for calling in. Today, we're going to talk about Wall Street to All Street, why crypto should be in your investment portfolio. I'm Kavitha Baratakke. I'm a passive income coach and founder of Cherry Street Investments. I'm excited to have Mike Sotero with us. He's a crypto educator and an investor himself. And he works with a company called IM Academy. They do a lot of crypto education. So a brief background on why and how I met Mike before we jump in. So I primarily do real estate investments. As all of you here on this call have seen me, I primarily talk about real estate investments. So why does a real estate investor care about crypto, right? It begs to be asked. So I think from a perspective of a real estate investor, what we have seen the last 2 years in terms of dollar printing, it really worries me, right? I am investing more of my dollars into assets because if inflation hits us, all the dollar printing is going to devalue currency, right? So once that happens, I want to keep my money in assets, like maybe it's real estate, maybe it's crypto, assets that cannot be printed at will, right? Like we have had dollar printing going on lately. So that's kind of how I started actually investing in crypto a few years ago, and I wouldn't call myself a serious investor. I was just dabbling in crypto, but I really took notice, not because Bitcoin reached $64,000, but because a lot of these institutional investors started getting into crypto, buying Bitcoin. When JPMC tells, hey, Bitcoin sucks, and then goes and buys a whole bunch of it, you guys should wonder why, right? Why is JPMC buying a bunch of crypto? Why are insurance companies buying crypto? Why is Tesla putting $1.5 billion in Bitcoin? So all of these are questions that the common person should think about as well, because when these institutional players start going in there is some merit to it. It's not a game anymore, right? It's not a game where, I'm just playing and, it's volatile and it's all over the place. I think all of us here today acknowledge that crypto is here to stay, and we also want to leverage crypto. A lot of problems come in with investors because they are afraid of the volatility of crypto and how to leverage that volatility instead of being afraid of it. How to actually use crypto in their investment portfolio long-term as well as short-term. Those are some of the questions that I was asking myself, and I was trying to find answers because I recognize that crypto is here to stay, and I want to be diversified in my portfolio and have crypto in my portfolio as well. And I think a lot of folks today on this call feel the same, Mike, and that's why we have you here. And I got interested in this, and then I went to a meetup here locally in Austin, and I learned about all the amazing education these guys are putting together, because I'm one of those people, I'll invest in my education first, because I want to do things right. I don't want to just jump and throw some money in and hope for and pray for the best, right? That strategy doesn't work. Education always works. When I traded options 10 years ago, I got myself a good education in options. I knew when to pull out, when to put in. And a lot of investors just buy high, panic, and then sell. And then they say, oh, this investment sucks. I'm like, no, you suck because you didn't figure out how to do it right. Sorry to say not you, as in you, but people who blame the investment when they don't understand how to leverage its characteristics to their advantage, right? So Mike is here today because I heard Mike talking, and I saw a video of him on the Academy talking, and I said, that's the guy I want. I want to talk to him because he really is passionate about what he talks about, and he knows his stuff. And I'm excited to hear what he has to share with us today. So some of the things you should, Mike will address today is why you should consider investing in crypto today. Why now, right? Why? What is the dollar printing? How much dollar printing has been going on? I don't know how many guys how many of you are aware of the amount of dollars that has been printed in the last 2 years just after COVID, right? It's staggering. Like if you look at the curve, the graph, it was shocking to me. And then how dollar printing will affect, and devalue the currency. And also, I mean, we know what the interest rates are right now, 0.25% in a bank account. Is that the best use of your dollar? I would argue no. So he'll talk to you about, Mike will talk to us about how we can actually earn double digits in APY in crypto. It's possible, right? And it's not like this crazy volatility you're thinking about, but there is good ways to do it. And also some of the pitfalls of investing in crypto, what you should be aware of, why you shouldn't panic and pull out, all of those things. And also long-term and short-term strategies for trading crypto. I know there was a lot to talk about, but I kind of wanted to explain why I was thinking crypto, and hope the audience here who have traditionally done real estate investments, maybe others, will understand where the world is moving and why we should take it up seriously as well. So again, this is always for educational purposes. We are not telling you to go do something. It's not an investment advice. We are not telling you to go invest in a specific cryptocurrency. That's not our game. We just want you to be aware, and education is the first step in investing, right? I believe highly in educating yourself first. Just a few housekeeping items. If you have any questions, please make sure it's in a Q&A box and not in the chat box, because I really can't keep up with the chat box sometimes. I want to make sure all your questions are addressed. Also, everybody asked me this. Yes, this webinar will be recorded, and I'll send out the link usually within 24 to 48 hours. Please add my email so that it doesn't go to spam, because I get a lot of emails asking me for webinar recordings. Just a little bit about me. I'm founder of Cherry Street Investments. I work a lot of my time on bringing passive investments in real estate to people, as well as active investments. I have a brokerage as well. I also do high yield life insurance, like savings accounts using life insurance. And yes, it is a safer investment there, but it's also low yield, like high yield compared to your bank account, but still lower yield, right? So we usually use these life insurance policies to invest into other assets. And we leverage the life insurance policies while we protect our life and get pass estate onto our next generation. Anyway, those are the things I work on, and I do a lot of education. For those of you who have attended my webinars before, thank you for being here. If it's your first time, thank you for being here, and I hope that you find the education I put together useful. You can follow me on YouTube. I have Cherry Street Investor Education. I would love if you could subscribe, and you get notified, and also appreciate your viewership. Upcoming webinars, we're going to talk about, if you're a foreign investor and you're calling in from out of state, out of country, how you can invest in US real estate. Also, if you're an investor, how do you get foreign investors into your real estate? Whether it's US real estate or any other investments, how do you bring them in, right? There's a good structure. So we have a lawyer, we have an attorney from MW Law coming in and talking about that. And again, I'm going from crypto to ATMs. Why the hell, right? We are investing in ATMs as well, but there's a method to my madness. It depends on your element of risk. How much risk do you want to take on? Do you want a lower return, right? ATMs provide really good returns for a very low amount of risk. We have residential mortgage and refinancing. We have a lender coming and talking about that. And if you have any other topic suggestions, I would love to hear from you. I also have a Facebook group called Purely Passive Investor Group. Feel free to connect with me there. I post a lot of content there related to all sorts of investing, not just real estate. The only thing I don't do is stock market investing, because an inordinately high amount of people's assets are already in the stock market through their retirement accounts and other brokerage accounts. I find that every investor I talk to has more than 80–90% in the stock market already. So from a diversification standpoint, my goal is to help people diversify their portfolio better, pull them away a little bit from the stock market, look at real estate, look at crypto, look at buying gold and silver and other assets, not just putting everything and all of their retirement in the stock market. Most of you guys know me. I'm not going to spend much time. I'm from the tech industry. I spent 20 years in tech. I worked for IBM and Atlassian. I have moved into real estate for the last 2 years and financially freed myself to do this full time. I also do insurance, like I mentioned, not just real estate, and the rest of it is fine. A little bit about Mike. I just want to talk a little bit about Mike here because I asked Mike for his bio and he's like, I have my picture, and he sends me this. And I'm like, okay, this is where we're going to lead from. And I'm going to ask Mike to introduce himself. And Mike, take it away. It's yours. The floor is yours.
Amazing. Well, I definitely excited to be here. Appreciate the invitation. I've been, an entrepreneur over the past, 9 years. I was looking at, your history, Kavitha, and that's definitely very, very impressive. I went to college for about 3 months, and at 18 years old, and I couldn't do it. So I applaud anybody who's finished school. I promote education. My younger brother's at University of Central Florida. He graduates next semester. But I've been an entrepreneur the past 9 years. I'm 26 years old. I played sports my entire life, and I had surgery my senior year, decided not to go out of state into college and get student loan debt. And I started my first business. And by 21, I had created 6 figures, and I had spent 6 figures because I was just not financially educated. And really over the past 4 years, I've really studied. I've really been very blessed and grateful to have been mentored by some of the best entrepreneurs, not in the US, but in the world. People like our CEO, people like Alex Morton, Jason Brown, individuals you can look up. And 4 years ago, in February of 2017, I had a friend of mine tell me about, crypto. And he said, hey, you should probably go buy some Litecoin, not even Bitcoin. He told me to go buy Litecoin at the time. And it was like $11 or $17. And I'm like, number one, what is crypto? What is the purpose of it? And maybe you're a guest on this call and you have no idea, right? Why was crypto even created? Okay, Bitcoin was created. Nobody actually knows who the person that created it is. It's like an anonymous person. But it was created after the big short, right, in 2008, after the market crashed. And the whole purpose was it for an asset to be created that had, inflation and deflation in the asset. Where, people in 2008 were over leveraged, including my parents. They lost 8 properties into foreclosure. They still have, and were able to hold a few of them to this day. But the average person that was uneducated financially got hurt. So 2008, 2009, Bitcoin was created. And something that's very important is Bitcoin is like the mother, right? Bitcoin is important for many different reasons. And it's not about a Bitcoin or a certain coin. It's about the technology behind it. Right? We hear about insurance fraud, right? We hear about Wells Fargo fraud. We hear about bank fraud all the time. That cannot happen in cryptocurrency. That cannot happen based on the technology. And I'm not going to go too nerdy or too in depth, but it can't happen on the blockchain. And there's actually a little website here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's like a weird name. And you could actually see here, okay, this is actually a little visual. You can actually see Bitcoin versus Ethereum. And if you want to drop a number 1 in the chat box, if you've heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum, feel free. And you can see here, and it's very simple. Okay, let me move this, is that each of these is a block for a Bitcoin, and each of these is a block for Ethereum. And there are people that get paid, computers, think of it like a cloud, people that get paid to fulfill the transaction. So you can see that Ethereum's blocks get filled a lot faster, okay, than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very slow. You're going to see this one take off before these take off. So you can see that Bitcoin, the last block was 19 minutes ago. Ethereum, like 48 seconds ago. So it's kind of a little visual. You can check that out. But Bitcoin and crypto, for most cryptos, that there's a limited supply. So the US dollar right now, it just keeps being printed and printed and printed. There's nothing backing it. Do I believe the US dollar will stick around? I do believe that. I don't think we're going to be in a full crypto society, but it is inevitable to believe or not to believe that this is not already happening. So when you look at Bitcoin, there's a number that's really important. 21 million. There will only ever be 21 million coins ever created. Therefore, supply and demand is going to kick in, right? If there's only 21 rose gold iPhones in the world and you have one, what happens? Supply and demand, price goes higher after the demand is there. Now, right now, there's about 3 million Bitcoin that have not yet been what we call in crypto mining. They haven't been, people don't have those cryptos yet. In about 4 years, all of the Bitcoin will be in circulation, meaning people will have those Bitcoin, whether it's an exchange. Maybe some of you guys have heard of like Coinbase, right? They just went public. Maybe you've heard of Binance in your country. There's just different exchanges in different places. But this is very important for crypto. Now, let's say I wanted to send you, and let's say you're in Africa or you're in Argentina or you're in across the world, and I wanted to send you right now $100,000. Number one, the bank's going to probably ask some questions, right? Number two, there's got to be some fees. And number three, it's going to take what time? With crypto, in seconds, Bitcoin, it takes a little long. It's like 30 minutes. But in seconds or minutes or right now, that money could be in your possession. And it's decentralized, meaning a bank is not approving the transaction. I went to the bank the other day and they were giving me a huge problem to send not even a lot of money to my other account with a different bank, like not even a big issue, but they made it an issue. So with crypto, it's completely decentralized. Now, right now people say, well, how big is crypto? $1.7 trillion, the entire market. Now, in perspective, that's nothing. People say, well, am I too late or am I too early? In perspective, that's nothing. Here's why. Maybe you guys have heard of the Forex market or currencies, right? Dollar, yen, euro, one currency to another. That market trades at 6 trillion a day. A day. The entire crypto market is at 1.6 trillion today. The second thing, the US bonds market, this is how my grandfather became very, very successful, is a $120 trillion market. And Carl Icahn, who you got to have literally like $1 billion net worth, and then you have to have 5 million to go into his fund, literally just said like 2 weeks ago that Bitcoin, that if he had to start over now, he would put money into crypto than into the bond market. Okay, and this guy has been skeptical about crypto forever. So why are people like that talking about it, right? Why is Michael Saylor, and if you guys don't know who he is, I'll explain in a second. He has a company called MicroStrategy, and they actually hold, it's a publicly traded company. They actually hold 92,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, right? JP Morgan in 2017 said it was a scam. I was in Ecuador, literally when the article went out, we were about to do an event with 500 people, and then JP Morgan says it's a scam. Well, okay, what happened to price? Price had went from 9,000 to 5,000 in like a day. And we're about to do an event, we're about to speak in front of people, and JP Morgan saying this. Well, I think a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, JP Morgan is launching the first Bitcoin fund for private investors. So why? Why is this starting to happen, right? How come in El Salvador, as of like yesterday, it is a legal currency? 70% of the population in Latin America, and that's most of my teams and a lot of our companies in Latin America, they're unbanked. But with crypto, they now have the ability to do transactions. Now it's a legal currency. And Paraguay is next. Argentina, governor or one of their lead officials is already talking about we're next. And this is really important for people that are unbanked, for countries that don't even have a banking system because they don't need it. Most of the world does have an iPhone. Most of the world, even in poor countries, they do have Wi-Fi. They can get Wi-Fi. They can figure it out. And they have the ability to partake in this market. So when you look at, let's go, I'm just going to delete these tabs. When you look at the entire crypto market, these are some of the top coins, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, USD Tether. So you can go to this website, coingecko.com, and you can look at this yourself. Now, here's what I want to show you. If you come in here and you go to resources, you go to public companies treasury and you click on Bitcoin. You can see here all of the top companies that are actually holding Bitcoin. Tesla, 48,000, MicroStrategy, and you can see what the value's worth. I mean, this is literally, they got in at 2.2 billion. That's billion, right? Yep, billion. It's worth right now 3.4 billion. They've made $1 billion on Bitcoin. Okay. Now, Tesla and Elon is playing a game right now. This has to be updated. They actually sold off their Bitcoin. Because what people don't know, Tesla doesn't make money on cars. They make money on like those energy credits that they get from the government. Most people have no idea about this. They make the money on the energy credits that they get. And because they were holding Bitcoin, the US government threatened them that they're not going to get the energy credit unless they get rid of Bitcoin. It's all a game of manipulation. And I could actually show you the manipulation in the charts. So this is really interesting. Okay, you come in here, you know, a lot of these are US companies as well. You have Denmark, Canada, Hong Kong, you have a bunch of different countries all holding crypto. And this individual who owns this company, Michael Saylor, he right now is raising 400 million from his investors to go buy more Bitcoin. Now, what's important to understand, and I heard, and I hear people talk about this all the time, is they don't understand this. Let's pull this up. Actually, I have it on my desktop. They don't understand that these markets are moving waves and these markets have cycles. Okay, and I would take a picture of this. 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. This is very important to study. This works for any market. Can everybody see this? You can just drop the word yes in the chat box. Can everybody see this clearly? Awesome. Now, this is so important. Okay, I remember seeing this in 2017 and understanding that every market, even a company, will go through these things where in the beginning there's a lot of disbelief. Okay, and then there's hope, there's optimism, and you can look at this and you can look at a chart and it's just emotions. Every chart we look at, gold, you know, the stock market, right? I've made the most money trading, shorting the entire stock market. So belief, through euphoria. And then we go into a place of complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, and anger. Panic, anger, fear, depression. That's where fortunes are created. That's how I've been able to capitalize on different markets. But every market goes through this. And then it starts over. Disbelief. Oh, wow, it's actually happening. Oh, my God, this is real. Wow, start telling your parents about it. Start telling your Uber drivers about it. Now, thrill kicks in where you think like you're going to buy a Lamborghini tomorrow. You're going to sell your house and buy a bigger house next week. Euphoria, everybody's going to be rich in Forex. Everybody's going to be rich in crypto. It's a dangerous place to be. And when you look at this chart, and I can show you this, and I can show you Bitcoin, I can show you any chart looking at this. All of the charts are emotions. It's human emotions. Now, people get wealthy and people have the most opportunity when it's here. Everyone is selling. I need to get out. Okay. So keeping in mind this, right? The psychology of the market, the emotions of the market. Now let's look at the market in a very simple way, a very, very simple way here of what Bitcoin has done. And remember, the emotions, okay? The emotions, the charts are always painting a story. And the story is so visible. The story is so visible for people to see in the markets. And I'll just kind of take you guys back in time real quick. And for you guys to all understand that in 2017, that's not that long ago. Let's make this a little bit darker. One Bitcoin was worth $1,800. I'm talking 2017, about 4 years ago. Okay, about 4 years ago, July, about 4 years ago. And remember those human emotions, okay? Remember, tell me this chart doesn't look like the other one we just talked about, right? Price takes off, comes back to 2,800, and then just goes on a crazy run. What do you think was happening here? Everybody was buying. Everybody was telling their Uber drivers to buy. It was emotions, emotions, emotions. But if you're taking notes, you can write this down. When smart money gets in, that's when you get in. Smart money, institutional money, does not buy the top. they get out here. And I'm not trying to call people dumb, but dumb money or uneducated money gets in here. And for 4 years, and for almost 4 years, people were just stuck. Anybody who bought here was just stuck until recently. Let's move over here to the chart until November or December of this past year. So now let's go back and let's look at where we're at. So until really of November, and how many people do you think actually held? If they bought here, how many people do you think held for 2 years? Probably very, very little people. So what has happened since really December of 2020, price has gone from 18,000. And look at this. We created a high. And you see how price is just going higher like a staircase? Think of it like a staircase, right? The uneducated person was buying up here. Now, if you bought up here, I'm not trying to call you out, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the average person was buying at 60,000 because they're like, it's going to go to 100. No. Price now has pulled back. And here's what I can tell you. This right here, this drop was 47%. And for the average person, that could be scary. But that's where there's opportunity on the next wave up. And what you have to understand is that crypto is obviously here to stay, but there's 7,000 different coins. So people say, well, Mike, what do I invest in? What do I buy? So you need to invest in cryptos that have a utility, that have a purpose. These coins right here that are going up and down 4,000%, hash panda, these are all pump and dump coins. And if you get in at the wrong time, your money can be gone very quickly. So we do not talk about this on our education platform. We don't even look at those types of coins. We want to find projects that have a utility, okay? And I'll show you guys a few different ways that you could earn interest on some of your coins. Now, one of the projects that is fairly new, but has a very, very solid team is called Superbid. They actually had sponsored Logan Paul. If you guys saw, there was a fight this past weekend, and they sponsored Logan. And what this app is going to do is think of it like an eBay where people can sell things, and like a TikTok or an Instagram where people can communicate. And what this app is going to do is people are going to be like able to go live and be like, okay, let's say I want to auction off my computer, right? I can be like, hey, everybody, I'm selling this, for 1,000 Superbid. So people are going to be forced to buy the Superbid token to then have to pay in the marketplace. One thing. Now, one of the things this project has, and this is a good word to write down, is staking. And this right here, this platform right now is currently paying out 80% APY. Now, it will not be that way forever. This is going to be going on for the next 90 days, so about 6.7% a month. And over the past 45 days, I have been traveling. I've been on tour. I've been able to generate, this is just one stream of income, an extra 4,000 Superbid tokens, which in money terms, in US dollar terms, is equivalent to this number in the past 45 days. And this is just one stream of income. It's crazy. I was never taught this. So the company, or what these platforms do, is they incentivize and they pay their holders or their investors in APY. And there's so many different projects. I know we have a ton of people in real estate here. This is a really, really cool platform here called Aave, where you can deposit and earn an APY, but you could also borrow. I don't know if you guys have seen this article. Let me see if I can find the article real quick. One of my very, very good friends, Ryan, he just did the biggest billion. Let's see if I can find this article. He just did a real estate transaction, the biggest in the US. And it was a 22 point, I think it's under Farbstein. And he just did a deal. Here we go. So this is like one of my very good friends, like one of my very, very close friends, my friend Ryan, and he just did a transaction that it was $22.2 million. The complete transaction was in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. There are a lot of talks of using crypto to actually buy real estate soon.
Yep.
A lot of companies are working towards it, right? It's not unforeseeable in the near future that you'll be able to use crypto to actually buy real estate. So
For sure. No, I agree. And I think I can't find the article. I'll get it to you guys though. But he just did a transaction, and then somebody who actually works with us, he did, my friend Ivan Paychecks, he did the first deal ever in Florida and brought a property. He's actually a part of our academy. He's one of my very good friends as well. He bought a property in South Beach. What's going on here?
Just pop-ups, subscribe.
Yeah. You can see here, there's some articles on him. But he did one of the first transactions for 17.7 Bitcoin. This is in 2017. So that Bitcoin is now worth, I mean, do 17 times 37,000. It's probably worth like $800,000 now. So whoever sold that property, and he's actually a part of our academy. So with platforms like Aave, you can actually borrow for these APYs right here, which is actually not bad. You put a little bit of collateral up, but you can use this platform to deposit and to borrow. So there's so many different things you can do. I believe it's really just getting involved in good projects, you know, things like Aave, things like Superbid, and understanding that, that's the last thing I'll say, is that even if Bitcoin drops, and I'm not going to get too technical, but there are ways to make money as price goes down. So for every dollar Bitcoin goes down, we could actually trade it like a Forex currency. So like personally, we were selling Bitcoin at 46,000 and we got out like at 36,000. And this right here, let me just put two blue lines here. So from blue line to blue line, the market moved about 10,000 points. So from here to here, see how it moved like $10,000? Let's actually go 36,000. Boom. So from this blue line to this blue line. And what's amazing about being able to trade it as well, I could own no Bitcoin. And let's say it moves 10,000 points and I risk $1 a point. That would have been a $10,000 trade. And this happened in like 3 days.
So is it similar to a stock option put, Mike? I don't know much either, but is it similar to like, hey, I'm going to short it, but I'm going to buy the exercise an option to short it, or?
No, so it's not like an option. This is like leverage trading. So when you go into the trade, you choose what you risk. So I can risk 10 cents a point. You know, I can risk $1, a 0.10. And the unit in measurement is called a pip. And it's just, you know, this is what it stands for, point in percent. So it's just a percent change. And this is how we trade this on Forex brokers. So if I'm looking at the dollar versus the Canadian dollar and it moves up 1,000 points, it's the same thing. So when I went into this sell, I can risk 0.1, 1.0. Banks are using $100,000 a point. But I get to choose what value I give to the point in a buy or a sell. So it's not like an option where you have an expiration. I can hold this for a month. I can hold this for 2 seconds, for 20 minutes. So there's no expiration.
It doesn't lose value with time then.
Correct. Yep. As every point that it drops, I'm making money on the decline of price as well. So that's what's interesting. You know, and I'll tell you just, I'll kind of end it with this. And over time, you know, people say, well, Bitcoin dropped. Well, in reality, March of 2020, so about a year ago, Bitcoin was at 4,000. You know, if you bought up here, you're nervous. But all of our students were buying at 4, 5, 6, 7,000. So even with this drop, we still have 6x'd our money this past year. So long-term investing in crypto is always going to be a win, I think, in general. but the percentages and the interest earning abilities are a lot higher here than a traditional bank. I personally don't even use my bank. I have one bank account now. I was moving money. I use JP Morgan, private client stuff, and that's it. Everything else is in crypto, and it's in certain assets that are producing these streams of income. And there's so many different projects. And as all of our students, learn this and have access to this. So long-term is definitely the key. The low of Bitcoin of every year is always gone up over the past 11 years. Like it was like at 4 cents, and then it was like at $10. Then last year it was $4,000. That was the low of 2020. I believe we've hit the low of this year. I personally believe Bitcoin will not go lower than $28,000 this year. And I'm expecting really an expansion really to 120,000 personally. Really, this is going to be this target. $123,000 is what we're expecting. Maybe not this year, but really the next push up. Remember the emotions. Remember that cycle. The market is going to make people feel that they missed out. So when this goes from 30 to 50, it'll be fast. Because now the human emotion, guess what? All the people who sold down here will now use that money, which probably won't be a lot, to now get back in here, and maybe they'll catch this wave and then price will come right back down. So the key is long-term investing, yes, but the entries or the positions that you take, it does matter. If I show you very, very simple, a different chart, and just look at the square right here on that super bid token, it's all emotions. Look at the arrow right here. We got in, we told all of our students right here to buy it at $2. Price went to 11, and then people sold and price came back down. This is called fear. This is when you buy, and this move right here went from $1.80 to $14. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking in 9 days, you would have 5x'd your money. We're not talking in 10 years. And we're expecting this to continue higher. So when people are fearful, we're getting in the market. And, it's really the future. You look at NFTs, you look at people are selling collectibles. People are, creating these digital moments, and they're selling them. There's actually a company that has digital real estate. Kavitha. It's actually crazy because a friend of mine bought and sold digital real estate for literally, he actually just sold digital real estate for $1.2 million. He bought it for $30,000 6 years ago. It's not even tangible. You can't go there, but other companies can build on the network. They can build projects like a Pokemon project, or like Marvel can buy the space, the digital land. It's crazy, but times are changing, and you have so many different opportunities. So definitely hope this was able to help you guys. There's ways to make money if price goes up or down. And this is obviously the market cap right now. You'll look back in 5 years and you'll be like, wow, gold's market cap is 10 trillion. So if this gets to where gold is going, and you guys can ask me any questions if you want, I can close this out with any questions in the Q&A button.
I think, yeah, a lot of insights. Please feel free to type questions in the chat box or Q&A box. I think, where do you buy Bitcoin from? Raj asks. Okay,
so you can buy Bitcoin in many places. You have to buy it on an exchange. So I'm not going to recommend any exchanges, but if you go in here, these are all different exchanges. So like if you're in the US, you can use Coinbase. If you're outside the US, you can use Binance. So just look at some of these. Maybe take a picture of this. This is on the website right here, exchanges.
Yeah, CoinGecko.com. I'm going to type it in there, and you can actually look up exchanges on CoinGecko.com.
Perfect. Yep. And you can buy it from an exchange. Now, what's very important is that you secure your crypto. And what a ledger is, it's like a little USB. This is important because if your money is sitting on an exchange like a Coinbase or a Binance, it could be hacked. Okay, it could be hacked. So you want to get your crypto on a ledger. Very, very key. Nano X ledger is a great starting point. It's $100, and you'll buy your crypto on an exchange, and then you'll send it to secure it here. And we teach all of our students this. Okay, good question.
Someone said Robinhood. Someone said Robinhood. Can you please correct that, Mike?
Yeah. So you do not want to use. I don't use Robinhood. I've never have. Robinhood doesn't. Yeah, it does. They don't own any crypto, so you don't own any crypto. What Robinhood gives you, they give you like an IOU, and you're just kind of hoping that they're going to pay you when the price goes up, but you don't own the crypto. They don't own crypto. Robinhood, in my opinion, is one of the biggest scams in the U.S. right now. So don't use Robinhood. My opinion. You can use it if you want. I wouldn't. Why?
You can also not take the crypto that you buy on Robinhood and put it on your ledger and actually own it. So just be aware of that. And I think there were a couple more questions. Mike. Paul asks, what was the name of the project again? And do you get it on MetaMask?
Correct. Yep. So for Superbid, right now, okay, and if you guys ever want to know where you can buy something, I'll show you real quick on CoinGecko. This is a really important website. In the search bar, just type in what currency you're looking at, and you can scroll down and click on markets. So you can get Superbid on Bitcoin.com, on Whitebit, on HitBTC. The easiest way to get this coin would be through MetaMask. So if you already have that set up, you can actually just swap your Ethereum for Superbid. So if you already know how to do that, then yes.
Mike, I have a question. Can you talk a little bit more about staking? I know you mentioned it with respect to Superbid, but how do people get into staking? Like, do they just buy a coin and then they can start staking the coin on any exchange, or does it have to be a specific exchange where they can stake it to earn that APY, the high APYs?
Correct. So it depends on the coin first. So some coins cannot be staked. If it's something like a DeFi coin, some platforms let you stake it. And what staking means is you're just locking up your crypto, and there's an incentive that they pay you and I, which is, an APY, to not sell. So we're earning interest every day, every week. We can unstake and get our crypto out. For most cryptos at any time, and then the interest just accrues over time. And then you would just go to their website.
Some of these pay like 800%, or I've heard some ridiculous numbers. Is that true?
800%, I would be very, very careful about.
Okay.
Yeah, anything.
What is the typical APY that you see when you stake, let's say, Ether, or you stake something stable, something more stable?
Yeah, so like for Ethereum, a lot of them are paying about 20%. There's different platforms. One of them is called Anchor, where if I come in here and I stake, 10 Ethereum right now, annually I'm going to be earning, this is actually like 6% on this platform. So we're going to show you different platforms. One of the ones where you can provide liquidity, this right here is paying out 137%. This wouldn't be considered staking because you're putting in 2 coins. So this would be called providing liquidity, but this is 137% APY right now, which is pretty aggressive.
So what is that? I mean, I'm pretty new also. Like, I would say I'm just buying crypto, but I don't understand enough. So what is that? It's Ethereum to Matic. Like, Matic is it's a crypto, I know, but what does that mean?
Yep. So you would buy, let's say you buy $1,000 of Ethereum, you buy $1,000 of Matic. It's equivalent. I can deposit both of those coins in this pool, right? In this place. Okay. And then this would be what I earn.
137%.
So I would deposit both.
Is that right now? Here? 137% here?
So the APYs change on a lot of different cryptos It is a year, correct? It is a year, but they do change every day based on supply and demand. So today could be 137, tomorrow's 85. This is actually,
but still it's double digits, right? Usually?
not. Yeah, usually it's more than 10, 100%. Usually it's more than 10, for sure, 100%. And these are just different platforms that we've looked at. So you can unstake Superbid at any time. Some protocols you have to leave it in there. Some you can unstake whenever you want. Do we have any preference? CoinGecko. I like CoinGecko better. CoinMarketCap. I don't really like CoinMarketCap. More information and the right information is on CoinGecko. Let me see if there's a question in the Q&A. People have lost through not securing. What's the difference between the ledger and other wallets? Okay, so if you have your crypto on MetaMask, you actually own the coins. If your crypto is on a ledger, you own the coins. But when your money is sitting on exchanges, like let's say Coinbase or Binance, let's say if Coinbase disappeared, you lose your crypto, right? Let's say somebody hacks your coins. I barely leave any money in here, right? I bought a couple coins of Filecoin. I will send this and get this out of here. Okay, so I'll use an exchange to buy the coins that are available, but then I'll take them out. I'll withdraw them to my ledger for security.
Hey, Mike, question there. How easy is it to withdraw to a ledger and then put it back in case you want to sell it and you see a good opportunity to sell? How long does that process take?
Depends on the coin, but literally minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty fast.
And another question I had is, I know a lot of people say don't buy Ledger on Amazon, always buy it on ledger.com. Can you talk about the buy of that? Yeah,
thank you for bringing this up. So people buy the ledgers, they resell them on Amazon or on eBay or wherever, and they hack them because there's actually 12 words. So like you don't put your username or email, it's none of that. It's 12 words where if you lose your little USB, you can recover your crypto, okay? So don't buy it on Amazon because maybe, let's say I buy it, I hack it, I resell it to you, you put your life on that little USB, and I have the 12 words at my house and I take your crypto. So just buy it directly from the website for security. Superbid,
I bought it and it's been sitting in a box from Ledger.
Yeah, you got to go through that. So somebody asked in the chat, so after you have your Superbid in your MetaMask, you would go to Superbid's website. It's actually very easy. You would click this button called staking. And then in the top right-hand corner, what you're going to do is you're going to click Connect Wallet. You're going to click MetaMask. And then there's going to be a green button right here that says Activate. You click it and you don't do anything. That's it. You're good. And you'll start to earn free tokens through time. We have some really good connections with this project. So this is going to be going on, I think, for the rest of June. And then it's going to slowly start to go down. But remember, as the token goes up in price, like if the token was worth $50 right now, this would be $245,000. So you're earning, and you can withdraw this after 90 days, the full amount. 90 days, you can withdraw the full amount of the reward tokens with that project. Polkadot versus ETH, both. You want both. Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, somebody asked, what are your thoughts on Polkadot versus Ethereum? Ethereum is ready to go now, but you want to have Polkadot in your portfolio for sure.
Okay, one more question that we missed here. Can you provide some understanding of BTC value being determined by the dollar, but the dollar is being devalued and it's seen as the negative? I'm not sure I understand that question. Richard asked.
Yeah, I think I got it. So when you look at this chart right here, we're looking at BTC versus the dollar, right? So Bitcoin versus the US dollar. So obviously if Bitcoin's going up, the dollar's, you know, should be going down. So Bitcoin's actually shooting up right now. So if you look at this move, this was May 8th, Bitcoin was going down. Now, if we look at the US dollar on May 8th, let's see if I get a better angle here. May 10th, this really started to go up. So the dollar was going up, Bitcoin was going down. It's not necessarily only based, like if the dollar goes down, which I think it is, I think we're about to see a very, very bad US dollar. That's not just based on that, but you want to keep in mind that there is some sort of correlation, but Bitcoin doesn't really need, like if the dollar goes up, Bitcoin can go up as well. It's not necessarily meaning they're both got to do the opposite.
Okay, this is a good question. Might be a good segue. But before we go there, Mike, can you share that dollar printing chart that it really boggled me, like was mind-boggling when I saw the numbers. The dollar print we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
I think in the last, in 2020 and 2021, the US, you know.
Yeah,
dollars.
I believe it's literally, I think it's like 85%. See if I can find it in an article. I know it
was like a really steep chart. I remember Roland shared it, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much was being printed.
Yeah, I haven't seen that chart. Like, I'm not sure exactly what chart, but I do know like literally like 80% of the physical money that's in circulation now was all printed in the past like 18 months.
Right, so. Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. There was this chart which showed, okay, dollar, 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 and then boom, you know, the amount of dollars, a circulating supply of dollars, maybe I can find it. But that was really.
Yeah, it's not good. Because the US dollar is an unlimited supply crypto, right? On all of these coins that we're talking about, they all have a max supply. So that's what's important to understand. Like one of the coins all of our students, we told them about, like this coin QuickSwap has a max supply of 1 million. So that's it. After the 1 million are in circulation, and there's obviously a project behind this, but after they're in circulation, price is going to go crazy. This could be a $5, $10, $20, $100,000 project after the supply gets hit. The US dollar, people just keep printing.
Yeah, and it's not backed by anything and gold like it used to be, right? The backing is gone, yeah. So now it's free for all printing too. So
exactly.
It's scary.
Financial planners don't suggest.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's kind of a touchy subject. I personally only listen to people that have the results that I want financially. So I'm very careful in who I listen to on that. Oh, I think Roland found it. Oh, wow. That's not good.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Kavitha? I think we're lagging. Is it my Wi-Fi?
Here, Mike.
Yeah, I think
Wi-Fi is getting hosed here.
Yeah, I think we can. I don't know if they can. If it's mine or yours. Can you guys hear us? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. We're back on. Okay.
Can't hear. Okay. Good. Yeah, I think they can hear. I think yours is lagging a little bit. Yeah, I think maybe reset your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, guys. Can you back?
There we go.
Yeah, I think I might drop off. I'm afraid I might. Yeah, I'm just going to turn off my video and it might get better.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Perfect. Well, yeah, Kavitha, I'll pass it back to
Yeah.
you to close this out. And guys, definitely appreciate your time. Get with Kavitha. She can show you more stuff on how to get access to like our education and everything like that. So I'm going to pass it back to you.
I think there was a good question about the education as well that Shalini asked. Mike, you mentioned students, and she said, I might have missed the earlier part of the webinar. Do you conduct classes or tutoring sessions? And we want to address that because that's exactly what Mike and a bunch of other educators do on the platform. So I'll just share a quick link here where you can go and sign up. Mike, do you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah, I can talk about it real quick. So yeah, we have the biggest trading education company in the world. We have about 300,000 students. Kavitha, you're lagging a little bit. And I teach on the platform 3 days a week. And it's basically like a Netflix or a Hulu for trading. Kavitha, yeah, let me show them real quick.
Go for it.
Let me show them go live real quick so they can see this. So we have education in all of these different languages, for different markets, whether it's Forex, options, or crypto. I personally teach 3 days a week on the crypto side, Saturdays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. So people can watch, my classes live here when I stream. There's a chat box and everything is recorded. So right now, we are in the middle of a course. So I created a course. It's about $10,000. It's free for all of our students when they're plugged into our academy. Kavitha will send you the link to get access to the academy. And you can actually see one of our educators who teaches crypto. He's actually going live right now. So you have access to over 10 of the top crypto traders, really in the world. I teach 3 days a week, and this is just one of the things our platform has. So I would definitely take a look at it. You have Roland on the call, who's done very, very well with our platform. Kavitha just dropped the link in the chat, and literally go through my course. Guys, get started and go through the first day. Day 1 and day 2 are already done. And day 3 is this Saturday, and then day 4 is this Sunday. So you will be able to get plugged in. So Kavitha can give you guys more information, and we definitely appreciate your time. And Kavitha, I'm gonna pass it back to you. I have another webinar I'm gonna jump on real quick.
Mike, I appreciate your time and sharing all this information. I think I learned a lot, so I hope the audience learned as well. Mike will drop off now, but I'll talk for a few minutes, and I'm just going to share a link really quick. So if you want to go there, you can follow this link, and I think it's called GCX where you want to sign up. Hi, I'm Kavitha Baratakke. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get notified of any future videos I upload. I plan to cover a lot of investor education on this channel, and I hope you'll stay with me for it. If you have any feedback on future content you'd like to see me cover, please drop me a note or a comment on my video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me.